So hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Alexis. I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine. I'm a trance channel. So what that means is that I personally interact with an individual being, and his name is Simon. And I jokingly refer to myself as a monogamous channel because I only channel with him. Everyone, everyone is different. He describes us as binary stars. And so binary stars stay within orbit of one another. So when we differentiated from source, we did so at the same time in the same way. And we kind of just hang out together. So we'll either incarnate together or we'll do this where one person's incarnated and the other's there. So there's all combinations of the way we do this. But in general, we do to share the messages of expansion, and that expansion is the natural state of consciousness and that of the importance of sovereignty. And sovereignty is a big part of our work. And what sovereignty is, in our definition, is ownership of oneself. And the reclamation of that is super, super important, and is part of how we can move through the world and heal properly and all of those sorts of things. And then also, when we've reclaimed our own sovereignty, honoring the sovereignty of others. I'm an author as well. I've written 2 books, The Expansion Principle, Healing for a New Earth, which is about the expansion principle energy, which is similar to Reiki, and it's something that Simon and I channel and attune people to. We have 50 practitioners all over the world, and that book's about that journey of coming to this, of channeling and all of that sort of thing. And then the second one is The Art of Sacred Relating, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. And then we'll flow into the channeling and we'll see, where are we at? We'll do a check-in with everyone and that sort of thing and see where we are. But the art of sacred relating is very much about how we have almost an obligation to increase the level of which we interact with one another, and that we're always relating to everything. We relate to each other, we relate to the world, we're relating to this chair. It's part of being human. A big aspect of being human is relating to the world around us, and part of differentiating and being an individual consciousness is about that connection, right? And so someone having a party?
Next door there's a game, it's like a...
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I say that?
This is, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's only been there about a month.
I'm wondering should we have them put a little bit music on them?
I can.
Because we put it down, and because it was on, I didn't notice.
Mm-hmm. She'll put on something that kind of drowned it a bit.
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you. So with sacred relating, I'm on a book tour right now, which is why we're here today. I live in Oregon. I'm from Miami originally. I was born in Miami. I lived here till I was 30, moved to Vero Beach, and then went out to Oregon. And I love Oregon. I've lived there for 5 years. And I have, we came back to talk about the book, and I did a speaking engagement in Atlanta and then did a little tour. And I used to come to this shop all the time with my kids, and I loved it, and so that's how we're here today. So it's just magical. I love every event is really unique, and that the people that are drawn to have this experience and where you're at. How many of you are familiar with channeling or have experienced channeling before?
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I haven't channeled myself.
Okay, have you been with a person who's channeling, where they speak through?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, so 2 people, and everyone else is just curious and is here. That's amazing. How many of you are where am I at? Gosh, that is a very interesting energy there. Let me take a second, sorry. Okay, so where are we? Channeling, yes. So Abraham Hicks, Seth, those kinds of, so we're familiar with that a little bit. So this is a similar concept. Simon is an individual consciousness where a lot of those others are collective. An example of an individual consciousness as well as Bashar, which is Daryl Anka. Is that his name? Yes. I love Bashar. And it was funny because before I was channeling, I'd never experienced or listened to other channels, like at all. Not for any reason other than I just didn't. And I started working with Simon about 10 years ago, and I was doing shamanic training. And at the beginning of my training, I kept hearing the name Simon in my head over and over and over again. And I don't know a Simon, never have, like I didn't know what that was. And I just kept, those times when you just hear either, you see the numbers or you hear a word or there's something that's just like, there's something here, and there was that. And so with shamanic training, you work with different helpers. And so every time I would meet a new helper, I would ask, are you Simon? It's like, no, I'm not Simon. And then one day I was given a task by my mentor, and I had difficulty engaging in the task, and I couldn't connect with it. I'm like, oh, that's odd, because in general, up until that point, I got it pretty quickly. And what came up, we connected with what was going on, and it was fear. So I did a fear release exercise, and what came up was it was time for me to meet Simon. And so I did, and in the beginning it was all internal communication. And so how many of you interact with your guides or interact with non-physical? Do any of you do that? Some of us, okay, beautiful. So you know how that's a very internal experience, but you can tell that it's a consciousness separate from yours. It's a little bit different from our own voice or our own thought. And while our imagination is a big part of how we create this, imagination doesn't actually mean make-believe. It's just how we're able to take information that's coming through and translate it, and so sometimes we'll see in our mind's eye images that we've seen before, and it's because our mind is trying to make sense of and create as close as possible so that we can understand what it is that we're perceiving, which that's kind of interesting. It doesn't mean you're making it up. That's an important thing to say. So all of this was occurring internally, and it did for like 5 years, which is wild, because what happened next is he matched his energy, helped me match my energy to his as much as possible. So when you interact with non-physical beings, particularly ones that do not originate with Earth and are like interdimensional or transdimensional, meaning being able to be in more than one dimension at once, their vibration is very high. And in this case, we're not talking about high or low vibration, like hierarchically, like one is better or worse than the other. What we're talking about here is that it just moves quicker, that frequency moves quicker, that something's oscillating at a higher rate than something else. And so to be physical, we oscillate slower. That's how we're able to be, we have the experience of being corporeal and being physical, right? So the energy is very big, very intense when they're not physical, and you can feel the presence when you're interacting with a presence that is not yours, when you're not just self-creating. There's a tangible shift in the space that you're in. You can notice a change, yeah? And so that was definitely happening for me. And so we were working together, and we began to work with this energy, with the expansion principle. In the beginning, it didn't have a name. That came in later. And I was working as an acupuncturist, and I started using the energy with my clients. And I had a practice for a long time, so many of them were familiar with me, and I had these patients and clients for a very long time. So they're like, sure, whatever you got, sign me up, I'll do it, I want to try it, right? And what was really beautiful is that the energy was making our results faster. Like things that used to take longer was quicker. We didn't need as many sessions. Like it was just really interesting to start to witness what was happening. And at that point, the big dream was to have a family practice, have family medicine. We're fighting we're battling, we're like dancing with the I don't know if it's joy or like what's going on, what kind of games they got going on there. It feels like there's like a fighting game. I don't know what's happening. We'll transmute some energy today. How about that? So with that idea, is to have a practice with multidisciplinary and all of that. And the next thing I know is, here's the name of this energy. It's the expansion principle. That's okay. And it's like, okay, so what do we do now? This is great. The name actually came through when I was in a meditation. And we'll do that. We'll
I'm
just
sorry.
hang with it. That's all right. The expansion principle came through as I'm in this massage, actually, and the name came in and it came out and it came in. It's like, okay, if you want me to do something with this, I need to remember what it is that you're saying to me. And then it just anchored in. And at that point it evolved into, okay, this is actually a modality that we're going to teach and attune people to. I did not know how to do that. I was like, what are you talking about? And what's interesting is at that point, all of that communication was internal. So we did that, and I started trance channeling with Simon when I wrote my first book, The Expansion Principle, Healing for a New Earth, which is about my journey expressing the expansion principle, and all of that. And my publisher said, well, can't you just have them talk to us like Abraham and Esther? I'm like, well, yeah, probably. So I pressed the button and went to deep meditative state and said, okay, so let's try to do something. And it was very clunky in the beginning, but we spoke. And so the big things here is, number one, I knew who and what he was, and I had been working with him for 5 years before I did this. So I wouldn't recommend just being like, hey, what's up? Well, whoever wants to come through. That's not something I recommend. I am finally going to have a channeling course come out in the fall, because I do have a lot of opinions about channeling, because I think it's something really sacred. And just like we keep our physical vessel, and we're very, very aware of how we share our physical vessel, we're not going to go to bed with just anybody. I think it's really important to have discernment of what we're doing with that sort of thing. So whether it's interacting with beings externally to us, and even in our field or in our mind's eye or however it is, it's important to have discernment there and to know, ID check, basically, like, who are you? What is your intention? Is this most correct and sovereign for me? Like, what are we doing here, right? So whether you're just communicating or actually channeling. And so from there, it evolved. That was in 2020 in January, and we know what happened in March. And so then I think at the end of April, we had our first experience where it was online, and we were sharing this. And we talked about time and dimensions, and there was a lot of time jumping and time alignment that was occurring from 2020 and really to now that's still happening. There's a lot of very interesting timeline things happening. And all that to, like, here we are. And so the way that these work is I do in person and I do online as well. We do them twice a month online. And I love doing them in person. They're a lot of fun. They're both really incredible. They're both really potent. And what we'll do is everyone will have an opportunity to ask a few questions. And they can be as personal or as abstract if you'd like. If there are, metaphysical topics you have questions, universe topics you have questions about, that's perfectly fine. If you have personal questions, you can also ask that. How many of us came in knowing that we have questions and what we want to ask? No? One. Perfect. Ish? Okay, awesome. So what we can do is there's a couple of different ways to play with it. We can ask for a general message. That's totally fine. And then what will happen a lot of times with the general messages is that he'll give you some information, and he might engage with a dialogue with you. He'll say something and say, yes, or is that correct? Or tell me about this, or explain that, or whatever it is. And so sometimes there'll be a bit of a dialogue. You can also formulate a question now, even if you didn't know what you wanted to come in with. It can be based on a theme of your life. So if you don't know exactly what, it's like, I want to ask about relationships. I want to talk about the energy of love in my life. I want to talk about money. I want to talk about work. I want to talk about my children. I want to talk about whatever. Like, can you speak on that? So a general topic would be okay too, a theme. And then specific questions, we can really start to formulate them, and there's all sorts of ways to be asking. Yeah. So do we have any questions, any thoughts? No, we're good.
No, I was raising my hand.
Yeah.
First, when it comes to Simon being around, right? Is he already here?
He kind of hangs out all the time, but you'll notice a shift in my energy when he's like coming through. So he's like around, but he's not.
Okay.
He kind of like hangs.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a great question though.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, thank you. Any other questions? I feel like you might be full of questions.
Oh, a lot of questions. But, I'm not selfish. I have tons of questions. There's a lot of things going on. Like,
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel good about formulating them and how you would ask?
no, not really.
Okay. Do we want to do that a little bit? Because we can formulate some questions if we want to talk about themes and things like that. And I can
For me,
help.
will be my love life.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Are you currently in partnership?
I'm not. I'm for the first time putting myself out there, and it's quite interesting. Yeah.
Has it been some time?
No, it just started happening. So trying to.
Oh, I
do that
mean,
exchange
some
of
time
energy
since you've
with
done
this
that.
man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for the first time, I'm open to what the universe has to offer. I guess
Yeah.
my closed off for a very long time.
Oh, have you gotten really clear on what it is that you want?
I do.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I want.
Yeah. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, so you can ask just about anything. You can just ask generally, or you can ask questions of what it is that you're desiring.
Just general.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, guidance.
Perfect. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to find my higher power, and I'm going through some steps right now in order to achieve that, but I'm stuck at a dead end. I don't know if there's maybe any light that could be shed onto that.
Yeah, so talk to me about how you're defining higher power.
So I'm currently in AA, so I'm working the steps.
Uh-huh.
And right now it's like to give my will and myself over to care, like over to God in the way that I see him, or whatever, the way I understand him.
Yeah.
I don't
And you
really-
struggle with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When I talked about sovereignty, how did that land for you?
So I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really paying attention.
That's okay.
I lost focus.
That's totally fine. That happens a lot for you, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, I lose focus a lot.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So there are ways for your neural pathways to regain strength and to like create again, and so that'll happen for you. So just give it time. So sovereignty is an incredibly important aspect of spiritual connection. So I define spiritual connection by non-physical connection. It's nothing more than that. It's just the part that's non-physical.
Mm-hmm.
And sovereignty is the concept that we own ourselves, and that we are the only, like, we is the relationship to I and I, myself, and how important that piece is. My cosmology is that we are all part of source, or whatever you want to describe it, and we're an individuated piece of that. And so within that, source is sovereign, which means I'm sovereign, right? And so, but also it's really important that nothing else outside of me is more powerful than me, because I'm a reflection of that. So that's why I wanted to ask you, like, how does that land for you?
I mean, I get the whole like I is I kind of deal. Everything that I've been kind of learning, though, I guess, in this journey is that
It's different than that.
it's a little different, because it, like they say, there's a saying, and it's like God brought me to AA and AA brought me to God, and service keeps us sober, kind of deal.
Yep.
So we're always in our experiences relaying what happened to us in order to help someone else
Correct.
understand. So I don't know if that's along the same lines.
Yeah, so it's some different pieces. So the reason I bring up the sovereignty piece is because I think anything that helps people reconnect to themselves is really important and really powerful. So I'm not going to dog AA at all, right?
No, I'm here to learn.
Yeah, but there's a piece that it feels like for you that might be difficult, is this idea that there's something more powerful than you.
Yeah.
Is really hard for you, and is that correct?
Yeah.
And until you can reconcile that, there's just going to be this fight.
Yes.
Right? And it's going to make it difficult for it to help you as deeply as it can, and it to continue to help you, which is the idea.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why I want to introduce these ideas, because they're really important. Anytime we have this idea that something is more powerful than us. But what I want to say that's really important is there is an us on a consciousness level, and there's us on a human level. We're talking about the consciousness piece. We're talking about the biggest part of you, not your human who wants to do X, Y, Z, whatever, right?
The ego and all that stuff.
Correct. That's different. So
Okay.
what we're talking about, the I and I, the relationship with yourself, what we're talking about sovereignty is your consciousness,
Okay.
which could be soul or whatever. It's that's more intelligent than your human.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That sits better with me.
Yeah, so your human has to surrender itself to something greater than itself. So you as God source, it's surrendering to that part of you, not to the human part. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I don't know that it would play with that part of being an aspect of God, being an aspect of, and that might feel a little bit better to surrender into that bigger part of yourself rather than something that is external to you that somehow has more power over than your consciousness. Because you have a very strong will and a very strong soul essence, which your mom, you know that about her. And so that's the fight. And so if you don't come into relationship with that part, you could have trouble. And you have had trouble, right? Like, you know, and so that's the piece of like, oh wait, it's my human. And so how do I relate with my human? What's the relationship with my human is super important. You know, it's true with like love or with whatever. It's like, how do I relate with my human when the person that I was am talking to didn't call me back? And I let myself be open and I really liked it. Like, how do you soothe yourself? How do you interact with yourself when, you know, maybe you have a really hard time with pursuing a new career and things aren't going the way you want? And your human's like, I know how to take care of this. We're upset. I know what to do. And it's this idea that, okay, how do I relate to my human of like, no, and surrendering into that bigger part of yourself, that God source self piece. Does that make sense?
Yes and no. It's kind of, again, it's a little bit of a hard concept for me to wrap my mind around, but I appreciate hearing it because one little step closer to understanding.
There's a sign up in the back for me to send emails, and I'll send the link to this, and I'll also send anything else we talk about. So if you want to do that, I'll send links to a documentary called I Am God.
Okay.
And I forget who it's. I think it's I know, not Neil Donald Walsh, the other Hawaii Wayne Dyer. He's in it. There's a bunch of people, and it talks about that feeling of being that, and so that might be something that feels more comfortable, and would help you on your journey of deciding connecting with that in that way. But you can ask him as well. But I wanted to define like, how do we mean higher power, like external to you, or your own personal higher power, like.
Yeah, I think now I have a better way to ask the question.
Yeah, awesome, very good. Okay, anyone else that wants some help with their question formulation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm working
Okay.
now, but it's not my career.
Oh.
It's not what I went to school for.
Okay.
It's not what I have my master's in. I have my master's in nursing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not working in nursing.
Okay.
I'm working with medical records, but I'm not working in nursing.
Yeah.
And I don't mind working in medical records if I get to use my degree.
Right.
But I'm not using my degree, so I want to know where I'm going with my career. This late in life.
That's great.
I want to know.
It's so fascinating. I think, do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
I'm sorry?
Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
I'm 56.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me. And my experience is different, but I have a lot of friends that are in their 50s, and I feel like that's the point when it's starting to like, well, later in life, it's like, but no, actually, we have our whole rest of our life.
No, I was supposed to be done with that already. I was supposed to be on my way. I was supposed to be retiring.
Yeah. And there were other plans.
Yes, other things happened.
Yeah.
And stalled my career.
Yeah. But I would look at the idea that what if it isn't stalled, right? What if you were just redirected?
Well, it's kind of stagnant right now.
But perhaps that stagnation is redirecting you. Because sometimes you need to be still before we like move out to the next piece and pivot and that kind of thing. Right. I know that doesn't always feel good. We want it the way we want.
No, that's fine.
But yeah.
So my question is, how do I pursue you know, my career?
Yeah.
Where do I?
How can you
do I
most
get out of
support
this-
it?
How do I
Get out of the rut?
Stagnation that I'm in?
I love that. That's a great question. Yeah, that's wonderful. And then as you all ask him the questions, you may find based on his answer that there might be a follow-up. Or you might be sparked by other questions people have and like, well, I want to ask that kind of thing for me. So there'll be the opportunity for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. You're good. You came with questions. You're good to go. Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful. And we're...
You know, I've been thinking what I want to know, but more than anything, I'd like to know where are we going?
Yeah.
You know, the world right now it's pretty messy.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary.
It's interesting.
And I'd like to know, are people waking up?
Yes.
Are they realizing that we can't continue this way?
Yeah.
You know, humanity has not evolved very much. So where are we?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about, like it's still barbaric. People are doing awful things,
Yeah.
and people in control are doing awful things.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a relief from this? Are we
Yeah.
going to have, you know, good times
Yeah,
coming?
I love
don't
that.
know.
No, it's a really great question.
I mean, it worries me.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
watch
great
the news
question.
anymore because
I don't. I haven't for years.
I don't have the TV anymore. I took it off
I
a
think
year
it's been
ago.
15 years since I watched
Well,
the news.
I've only been a year without the TV.
Okay,
but
good job.
Well, I watch Netflix.
Yeah. And even that, you have to be aware of what you're watching because a lot of
but
it
I mean,
can
I'm
be.
really like,
Yeah.
I'm so not in tune with things because I've closed myself.
Yeah.
And that's not good either, but I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I know it's there.
Yeah. So I like when we have that draw to close ourselves, I like the idea of the semi-permeable membrane. And this might be something that's useful for you, is this idea that, okay, like we're open, but we also have the semi-permeability. So only things that are correct for me. Like, I don't need to deal with nonsense. You know, it's like they can, you know, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, like only what's correct. And what's interesting about what's correct it can be an experience that doesn't go the full distance, but there is something there for you. Which there'll be some of that, you know? And you specifically will have that. And that's okay because it's giving you something that's important that will shift your energy in a way that will prepare you to be fully open to love and to be loved. Because what you want is to be fully loved in a way that you haven't been loved before. And in order to do that, you have to receive it. And there may be some things that need to be experienced first. So that when you engage with that person, it's not going to be someone who will mess around with whether or not you can open. You either open or it's like, okay, well, call me when you're ready. You know? So it's that readiness piece. Yeah. I love that question. Simon and I talk about that a lot, and we'll ask him because every time he answers that one, there's a new evolution of what he says. And this morning I was at a Meet the Author event where we were doing the books and things like that. And one of the things that we talked about is that more and more people are actually waking up. And they're waking up at a much more rapid rate than there ever have been in previous millennia. What's fascinating is as more people wake up, the noise that isn't happening is louder. So it makes it look like we're in a lot worse trouble than energetically and evolutionarily we are. We are evolving quickly. There's things that I'm sometimes careful about how I say, but there are energies and we can see that playing out in our society in a lot of different ways. Regardless of what our opinions are politically or religiously or anything, you can see a lot of this dissonance, like a lot of caustic energy, right? And so regardless of that, I got distracted by it for a second, sorry.
That's terrible.
It's a soccer, basketball, it's balls on the wall.
They're gonna have to put some kind of soundproofing or something.
I've been coming for a while. It's never.
That's one of those people.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, so we'll just have to make this work.
We were talking about the book event and how people are waking up.
Oh yes, how they're waking up, right? And a good job. So she got now she's paying attention, right? She's like, I'm with it. This is good. All right, Mom, fine. She came with mom because she made her, and then she's like, oh, maybe this is interesting. Maybe this lady has something to say for me, right? I like it. I appreciate you. Thanks. Yes, around that connection. Oh gosh, should I lose it again? Let's see. No, the waking up. And that's why, because interference energy. So for me, what I've very much been aware of is that there are interference energies, and what that means is either people or experiences or things that get in the way of our evolutionary process, that can create illusions, that can create distractions, and it's a interesting thing that does in fact happen. And we don't need to be afraid. It's just an awareness, and this is where the sovereignty piece comes in. Because if we activate our sovereignty, and if we're aware of whom we are and how we're navigating ourselves in our experience, and calling our energy back to ourselves, and that we are the ones, we're the only one who can decide if and when we do something, if how we do our choice, all that sort of thing. And in that's when we're able to let the interference fall away and get really clear. Exactly. And in that, you'll start to discern, like, oh, that's just noise. Oh, that's just noise. So I don't actually worry about the things, because I have an awareness that there's this veil layer of, oh yeah, this, and it's not, it's actually getting better and better. But it's like is this appropriate? Yeah, okay. It's when, when you do the bug spray in the house, like in Florida, we all have to do because there's a million bugs that are like a giant big, right? In other places, they aren't that big, just in case you're wondering. Cockroaches are not like, yeah. And when the last moments before it's dying, it's like those death throes of it. And we're in that for the interference energies. And so it's the last kicks. It's the last, like, oh, look over here. So we don't reach what's required, which is a critical mass of awakeness, so that we can go in a certain direction. And we will still ask him, right? Because he's going to say cool things too. But that's my understanding. That's really important, that we are, and holding the awareness that we actually are going in the correct direction is super important, because what that does is when you carry that, you transmit that to other people. And that part's really important. So you ask the question because there's a part of you that knows we're all going to be okay, but that doesn't match with what you're seeing. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So holding that's really important, and hopefully what you experienced today will help that be stronger, that light stronger, so you can transmit it even more. Yeah. All right. So I think we're good. We know what we're asking. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And you've been very quiet.
I'm just observing.
Just
I
chilling.
think it's gonna be more of like general life, like I'm doing the right thing, I'm on the right path, sort of
Awesome.
situation.
Yeah, that's great.
Sorry, I have one more thing.
No apologies. Yeah, please.
So I want to know what would be the best way to give my partner the confidence and the strength to open up to finding a passion.
I want you to say that again. I heard you, but
No, it's a lot. I have a partner who is very, like, he's scared to have a passion, I think. Like, he doesn't have anything that, besides me, that he loves me, but like, he doesn't have anything that he's like, oh my god, this is my soul, my thing. Like, he's very guarded with that.
yeah.
Because everything that was given to him was taken away. So I don't think he's allowed himself to find something that he can hold on to and truly enjoy. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it definitely does.
I just don't know how to even ask that, if that's something I can even ask.
What I would ask, what we can ask when we're asking for other people, is how can I support this person's journey to finding his passion? Because that way you're asking about the other person, but you're really asking about your role with the other person.
Okay, I see.
Right? And so that's a lot more expansive too, because number one, we're not like violating people's sovereignty by asking information which wouldn't come through anyway, but there's that part, right? Because there's privacy and, oh no, I know, we don't think of it like that, right? So we're honoring that, and then we're asking how do we support? And so it gives you, because it's really what you want to know.
Yeah.
It's not really, and I think that's why I had you ask again.
Yeah.
Because the most important thing for you to know is that it isn't your responsibility for him to find his passion.
That's true.
Yeah. How old are you?
31.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's super important lesson to be aware of and to know, like, it's not your responsibility. Yeah, I understand the desire, and that's where asking the question of like, how can you support him? And the other thing that I've seen as well, like just in my observation of people and in relationships, is not every person's vocation is something they're passionate about. And when we're someone who is passionate about our vocation and it lights us up and it makes us excited, there's an expectation or a thought or belief that everyone's like that, and that a person's life is the best if they're really excited about their vocation, and that doesn't always happen. It's so fascinating. However, there should always be something that lights us up as beings. Like, what are the things, like maybe someone who loves being in nature, but they work corporate and they like push numbers and it's fine, and their job is not, they're not into that, but what they live for is doing the outdoors. Now, someone who lives their vocation as their passion would say, oh, quit your job and be an outdoor guide. That might not be that person's path to do that. It might be very much in the correctness to have that stability, that's part of what they're here to experience, is to have that stability, and they're perfectly fine with it. There's no longing thing it's like, but I'm happy. It's like, but you don't really like it, but it's fine. And they don't really, are they lit up in other parts of their life? Now that's really different if a person's miserable and they want, like, that's different, but not everyone's job or vocation is the thing that like, whoo, like sometimes people do things and they get into lines of work that they just do, and it's part of what their soul, what their consciousness is experiencing at this time. So it's like, are there other pieces? Are there other experiences that we're having that light us up? Are we having exchange with, how are we relating? And how do we relate with our work? Is he, all those pieces of it. So are there things he's passionate about? There's all these other questions. I just wanted to offer you that because it's something.
No, I appreciate it, because I want to make sure I can get the best information possible.
Yeah,
and I don't want to invade anyone's privacy.
Yeah, no, that's good. And for you, do you have vocation that you enjoy? Do you have things that make you happy and light you up?
Yeah, so like, I just want to know that he actually is able to enjoy something as much, I guess as I would.
Yeah. So things that are really kind of cool that might be really helpful for both of you, and goes for everyone, is working on receiving. And so when we work on receiving, for you it's love of self, worthiness of self, like worthiness of being healthy. Like, there's a lot of receiving pieces that you could work on, and it's something like, if he has interest, it's something you can do together. So for him it might, because he had things taken away, it's like worthiness of having joy, like that kind of stuff. Like, receiving is really beautiful and can be quite powerful work to yeah. You're welcome. Okay, how are we doing? Yeah, are we ready? Do we have any thoughts? Any other questions? Yeah. Are you ready? And I know this is not the ideal situation, but this is what we got, so we're gonna roll with it. Yeah. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna grab my water and then we'll start, okay? We left it over there. so I think we'll go like I'll channel for like about 50 minutes. Do you mind like kind of watching the time for me?
50 you said?
Yeah, 50. So how would we like to do this? Do we want to go from one end of the room to the other? Do we want to have numbers and have him call people that way? Just go around? Okay. Perfect. Yeah. When we have bigger, say it again, flow. Right? Yeah, absolutely. We start again?
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so he'll say hello and then we may begin. And you're first, so you just say hi and start going. And then when he'll say like things like that we're at a completion, is there anything further, that kind of thing, and then kind of go along. And then at the end, he'll wrap up and ask if there's anything further. And then once we're all feel good about being complete. So once we go around, if there's time for more and he asks, but that's fine to do that. And if you have more than one question, you can ask it right after your first one. So if you have one and then you do the next one, like do as many as you have and then move on to it.
Can you tell time?
Can I tell time?
Because I know like time's not like a real thing.
Yeah.
So like if I ask for like time wise, is that
Oh,
realistic?
I thought you were asking me if I can tell time.
No,
Like
no,
when
no,
I'm
no,
channeling, I'm like, I
When
don't
you're
know.
predicting, with me, when I predict, sometimes it's hard for me to give time, specific time frame.
Oh
I can tell
yeah.
you like maybe within a couple of months, within the next year. Is that something
Yeah.
realistic or?
Yeah, he can do that kind of thing.
Okay.
Sometimes he'll be more specific than I don't like it when he's very specific, but he sometimes enjoys being really specific. It annoys me because it makes me nervous because you're either right or you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he's typically correct, but it just
Okay,
it
now I know what I'm
bugs me.
asking. I need to know. Like, when am I leaving? How long is it gonna take?
Yeah. I did a year ahead reading, and I was connecting it with him with it, so we were just kind of chatting with it together when I did it. And what it was coming up in the reading was a woman who was trying to have a baby, that the baby was coming that year. And I'm like, oh, that's something that either happens or it doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Very
And the
delicate,
whole, yeah, and she was due like in December. So basically we, I guess. It was when they conceived, when they found out, like the whole year was basically from the time of like March or something, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna give this thing to this woman? And she had had a loss previously, and so there was a lot of pressure. Yeah, and so for those of you who connect and who, do that kind of work, it's a lot of pressure when I tell people things like that, because I was either gonna be right or wrong. And it's a very tender thing, and I just went with it and I gave it to her, and sure enough, the timeline followed exactly. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
So you
Right
show
now?
off. You show off. It's okay. Let him show off today.
Gosh,
I'll
it's
take
a
it.
trip.
Show me what you got. Show me what you got.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun, and he's made me more comfortable with doing something like that, because I remember I wasn't channeling when I did it. He kind of hangs out, especially when I'm doing things like that. And I did it on my own, and then I do a recording and sent it to the person. And he's taught me to be more comfortable, because he's usually pretty specific, and it's tricky. It's hard. It can be. It's like, oh, and there's so many reasons behind that. Okay, I'm gonna get my back a little bit more. This is a great chair, but it's got a deep, yeah. We don't have another pillow, do we?
I do, yeah.
Yeah?
We do.
Okay,
We got you.
that'd be great. Are you nervous?
I am,
Yeah. Have you had experiences that haven't been not good in this
No,
capacity?
never.
Okay,
I
so.
think I'm just I don't know what to expect.
Oh, yeah.
And that lack of knowledge is
Oh, yeah. Is there any more information that I can offer you, or do you think it's just the experience
I
of it
think
at
it's
this
just
point?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
It's like a good nervous, not a bad nervous.
Oh, it's so funny. I'll tell my partner, I'm nervous. He's like, are you nervous or excited? I'm like, okay, fine, I'm excited.
They both feel the same. Yeah.
That's why he always asks me. He's like, okay, but baby, are you nervous or are you excited? Because I'm excited. I was like, okay. Okay. See you in a little bit. Yes, we may be beginning. There's someone that would like to be asking questions, yes?
Yes.
Yes, we may be beginning.
I would like to know, when am I going to find my home?
The one that will have the longer, the longevity to it will be 6 months. We understand that that is not necessarily what you would like to be hearing, but there will be other stopping points in between. There must be an experience of the places prior to making the decision. And this has to do with the energetics of the overall unit that you are traveling with and that you're making the decisions with, yes? And we understand this is quite uncomfortable for you, yes? But it's quite important for certain aspects that need to be healed within the ancestral line, but particularly for one of the members in the party, their past life experience. All of this is commingling with one another. You must be remembering, because you chose to create a larger entity and not just one person, 2 people, 3 people making a decision. There are quite a lot of energies that need to be rectified at this time. There's many things having to do with the journey of the pilgrimage, because if you look at it in a lot of ways, this is a pilgrimage home, yes?
Yes.
Yes, and so in doing the pilgrimage home, you have more than one energy. You have 3 energies, yes? 4 energies?
Yes.
Yes, and so what is occurring with this is that there's a lot of exchange that is happening, yes? With the places that you go into and exchange energy with, it is allowing you to prepare yourself for the subsequent energy, yes?
Yes.
Yes, and that is quite important. There's a lot that will be influenced as well. It has to do with decisions that will be made within the next 2 to 4 months for each one of the parties, yes?
Yes. Where will I stay in the meantime?
Oh, you will be moving through in different places because you have to attune to different locations. Yes?
What will my career be? What will I be doing as a profession?
Yes, just a moment, because we would like to be advising you that it will be a 2 month, a 3 month, and a 1 month, and then you will be aligned to the permanency. Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, you may be continuing.
Career.
There's a lot of flux with the career, yes? There's decisions that you are uncomfortable about making, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a particular reason why you're most uncomfortable?
Fear.
Yes, and how does that normally work for you?
I work through it.
Yes. It's most important to be aware that that is an aspect of it, that is very important to be aware of the fear, but there is something deeper than that, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So have you engaged with that aspect more?
No.
Yes, it is necessary to do so at this time, yes?
Yes.
And so if you are doing that, then you will become a lot more clear in your career once you are able to clear the things that are necessary for you to be making the choices that you know you will be making to begin with. But you can't quite make the choice even though you know you're going to be making the choice, because you need to do the things in order to make you clear on the choice that you're making, that you're already clear on, yes?
Yes.
There's also a certain augmentation of desire that will be happening. There are times in which you have not allowed yourself to be clear on the desires that you have, yes?
Yes.
And so there's an augmentation of the desires that will be occurring within the next 6 months, and this is quite important for you, because what will be occurring is that you will be moving through.
Can you lower your voice down here, please?
What you will be moving through on your pilgrimage will be allowing you to be aligning with the energies, yes? Be aligning to the energies of making the decisions. This is part of why it's so necessary for you, as uncomfortable as you'll be, but it is important for you to become uncomfortable and in order for you to be no longer having the fear of discomfort, yes?
Yes.
Another aspect of the question is that you will have great success with the things that you are choosing, but you must first be choosing it, yes?
Yes.
And it must be chosen of whether or not you have success in the artificial way. And we say artificial because those aren't what we're meaning by the man-made structure ways. It does not mean that those are not important, because they are. The material experience on this human plane, as you are embodying, is quite important, yes?
Yes.
However, what we mean by artificial is that it isn't the only thing, yes? That you have to be connected to the decision to be successful, yes, and to own the success that you're having in your life already. Is that a possibility for you?
Yes.
And once you do that, there's a great augmentation in your life, yes?
Yeah.
Yep. That is correct. Is there anything further you'd like to be asking?
No, thank you.
Yes. We'd like to be continuing.
Okay, I have a question. do I need to stay where I'm at, or do I need to move? What's safest for me?
Yes, we maybe, that is a bit unusual, but as we were closing the experience with the previous person, the words moonflower were coming through and we needed to relay that information. Yes. So we may be reorienting now with you. You would like to be knowing if it's important for you to be moving, yes?
Important to stay, or important, or to move?
Yes, it is important to be moving. But it is important to be moving your body. Yes, it is important to be moving your mind. It is important to be moving your trajectory of yourself. You must move the needle of what you thought you could be achieving to another place. Yes?
Okay, so not physically moving.
Well, yes, that is as well, but you must do the other pieces first.
Okay.
Because otherwise you cannot be having the decisions to be doing the things that you need to be doing. You have to move the other things first before you can physically move. That is what's been holding you back, yes?
Yes.
Because you have to move what's possible for you first. Because if you do not move what is possible for you, how could you physically change anything, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So if you're moving what is possible for you, then you open up the ability to make different decisions and for there are other opportunities to be coming through, because also that is a big aspect of this decision to be moving, because it isn't so much a decision, it's a response, because the opportunities have not been seen to be presenting themselves in a way in which, but they will once you decide what it is that you would like to be experiencing, particularly when you are moving that needle of who you can be to a further level. Yes, when you say, oh, I am not that thing, oh, I cannot have that, you are blocking the ability for that opportunity that would take you to be that thing to be coming forward. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And
do you know how to be moving your mind?
yes.
Do you know how to be moving the trajectory of whom and what you are possible to be being?
Yes.
Yes, we would invite you to be doing that, yes?
Yes. Oh boy. And I have one more question.
Yes.
In regards to my children going with me, or staying, or am I moving? Or I need to focus on me?
Yes, it is. That is a very good assumption, and that is quite helpful to be doing. They will have other opportunities for themselves, yes? They are older children, yes?
Yes.
Yes, there are other opportunities, but it is the movement. This is why movement is so important for you. And we're talking about moving your body and moving your body and moving your body so that you can be moving the energy adequately, yes?
Yes.
And in doing that, you are opening opportunities for them as well. When you are moving what is possible for you, you are changing things within your lineage code, which is within your spiritual soup, and that impacts your children. Regardless if they are born already, there's this concept that you can only impact your children through your healing if they have not been born yet, but this is not true. It doesn't matter. Any healing that you do helps your descendants, your progeny anyway, yes?
Yes.
And so any healing that you are doing, it allows for them, the more free you become of movement, the more free they become of movement, yes? The higher you choose your possibility of how you view yourself and what is able to be experiencing, the higher they're able to view themselves and they're able to be experiencing. And that would be an aspect that would be quite helpful for you, to be able to be allowing yourself to make that movement of way of being, of way of thinking, of way of mind way, yes?
Yes.
Is by, oh yes, I can trick myself a bit because I know if I do this, it will benefit them. So even if I may not be worthy of this quite yet,
Yes.
you can be doing it for them, and then you will recognize your worthiness because they are worthy and so are you, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're quite welcome.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to know how I can connect my human aspect of my soul with my higher power of my soul, the cosmic side. That makes sense.
Yes. There are very many different ways that you are asking this, and we would like to be answering it as many ways as possible. The one way that you are asking that would be helpful for you to be moving your needle forward, so to speak, is being able to connect. What you're asking is being able to connect the heart way, yes, the human heart way, with your consciousness in a greater degree, yes, so that you can have connection and communication with the largeness of yourself.
Yes.
And then also you would like to know how to connect your human self to the largerness of all consciousness.
Yes.
Yes, those are two very different questions and both very important questions, yes?
Yeah.
So what you want to be doing is having practice every day of being able to center oneself. Have you been having practice of meditation quite yet?
No.
Yes. Is that something of interest to you?
Yes.
That is something that can be quite helpful. You can do guided experiences, but you can also simply take just a few moments of breath and you follow your breath. And in and out, and you follow your breath, and you put your hand on your heart and your other hand on your belly. And you just breathe, and you feel your body. Yes?
Yes.
This is quite important. This is an experience that you sometimes have disconnected from, is feeling your body, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You want to feel your body in the ground that it is on, in the space that it is in. Yes, you feel your body. And in doing that, you also then call yourself in and you say, I would like to be experiencing the fullness of myself now, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What do I feel like? Yes?
Yes.
And you allow your vibrational signature to come in and you just notice what it feels like, what it senses like, what it reminds you of. And you allow that to be connected and collaborative with yourself, yes?
Yes.
And then you may, over time, be asking the question, how do I bring this in more fluidly? How do I communicate with myself more fluidly? How do I allow myself, this part of myself, to be making my decisions and or at least be bringing me the correct and accurate information to be making decisions from? Yes, and you ask, how do I know this? What does it feel like? Yes?
Yes.
Your other aspect question is, how do you connect the human self with a greater experience of what is larger than you? Yes, a cosmicness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And what you want to be doing first is feeling your body, because how did it come to be? And we want you to feel that and practice that for as long as you possibly can. We invite you to be doing it for approximately 5.5 weeks if you can be, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Every day. Allowing yourself to connect in that way. And what will begin to occur is that you will begin to feel in that stillness, in that breath, you will begin to have stirrings of something even larger of yourself, the sensation that is bigger, this feeling of being of more than just one yourself. What you are requiring is experience. What very many people are talking about is merely trust without experience, and that is quite all right for many people, but you are built for experience, yes?
Yes.
And you do best with that. What we are inviting you to be doing is to be having an experience so that you know quite tangibly what it is and what it isn't, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything further at this time?
Yes. I would like to know how I can support my partner to find their passion.
Yes, that is a very good question. Just a moment. Yes, an aspect of what you want to be doing is reconnecting with yourself at a greater level, which is partly what we are talking about doing with the practices you asked before. Continuing to pursue yourself and your journey to yourself and the expansion of yourself will be quite supportive for him, because as you raise your vibrational signature, it will be a request for him to be doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And in doing that, he will become more clear on who he would like to be being and what he would like to be experiencing. So what your job is to be doing is to be the most of yourself, to be focusing and modeling the most of what it is to connect. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And to move simply with his observation of you. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Anything further at this time?
No, thank you.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I've been thinking, and more than anything, I want to know what am I going to be when I grow up.
What a beautiful question, because there are many answers. A part of the question, we are going to be answering it in a big way. Is, how would you like that?
I just need to know which direction I need to go in to be more fulfilled. My life is good, but I know it can be better.
Yes, we would like to be inviting you to be knowing that what you be when you grow up is a star within a galaxy. Truly.
That sounds so beautiful.
Yes, and we want you to connect to that, because there's an aspect of your consciousness that will remember that experience. Even though it is a future experience, it is also one that is present within you that you can call in. And when when you do that, when you connect to that, what occurs is that you have a remembrance of how to ignite your personal passion, for you to ignite the fullness of what you feel is missing, yes? It is in that remembrance of what you are that you become more of who you are, yes? That you allow your connection to your becoming, yes?
Yes.
You can take any actions, you can express in any way, but it is the connection to the energetics of what and who you are that will fuel that ability to express, yes? That is what's lacking in very many people. They do not have connection or remembrance of what they are in a large way, yes? And you don't need to be doing this in a cognitive way. It is just merely the remembrance that you're larger than this personal experience, yes? And it's bringing that in, and that is an aspect of what allows you to be brighter and brighter and brighter, which is quite important for you. To be more specific, do you have an aptitude for the way that it is coming through is editing?
Editing.
Yes. Taking something that is one way and allowing to see what the best way for it to be refined.
I mean, you can use that in a lot of different ways.
Yes,
couldn't
you can.
But I suppose so. Throughout my life, I've been editing.
Yes. There is an invitation that what you be when you grow up has to do with that.
Okay.
And it has to do with how would you like to be doing that. And it can be project management, because that is editing. That sounds quite boring, but
Yes.
it can be quite exciting, because what it means is having someone come with an idea and you do your magic and create this thing for them, yes.
Could it be in helping people?
It very much could be, yes. Because in a way, isn't that what that is editing?
Yes.
Is editing out what is most beneficial, what is least beneficial, what needs to be released, what needs to be moved, what needs to be expanded, yes?
Yes. You just have to find a vehicle.
Oh, there are very many vehicles, yes.
I think that's where I'm stuck.
It will come to you, it will present itself when it is most correct, yes?
Okay.
There will be not much time to be waiting.
That's good.
Yes, once you open yourself to this sort of thing, if you'd like to be connecting to it, it simply comes forward for you. This is most important when you are connecting and asking questions from your heart and your soul, whether it's to me or to yourself or to anything. It is merely the act of being willing to ask a question that helps move things in a way that allows for you to have the answer, which then allows for you to have the experience and take the action, yes?
I understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. Is there anything further at this time?
No.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
I would like to know how I can improve my relationship with my daughter.
Have you been doing any work on envisioning possibility with her?
No.
Yes. Well, would you be open to that?
Yes.
Yes. Just a moment. What that looks like is allowing to see what could be if things were repaired to a level of your liking, but also what is most expansive for you both, yes?
Yes.
There have been many issues with communication, yes?
Yes.
And there's very many issues with the way that you view one another, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And oftentimes there's very many misunderstandings, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there current communication occurring?
No.
Yes. I need a second to have him come back in. So I don't talk to my mom right now. And you're sitting right in front of me. And I don't think I've ever broke channel. Like, I'll have moments when I'll feel something for someone or there's a matching, but like that was, and she lives here. And I don't. And I'm here. So let's get something going on. Okay, thanks. I guess there's a first time for everything. Yes, what we were discussing was the importance of being able to vision, yes. And what that is tapping into a timeline in which the possibility and the outcome is of the most expansive for you both, yes. And when you tap into that, what you want to be doing is you tune into the energies of you both. Do you do much spiritual work?
Yes.
Yes. Are you familiar with what we're describing you do?
No.
Okay, what we want you to be doing is going into a still place and meditating, yes? And going in, and then you're asking, I would like to feel and see and experience the highest, what is her name?
Anna Marlene.
Yes. I would like to have the highest possibility, the highest expression and relationship that is possible in this lifetime with Anna Marlene. Yes. And you ask to be shown that. You may envision a TV screen, a movie screen if you would like. And that way you could tap into that and you can see that. And that will give you quite a lot of information. And from that information, what you are doing is you are shifting possibility within you, because right now there is quite a lot of fear that it will not be changing from the current situation that it is in, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So in tapping into possibility first, it allows for there to be enough energy moved from you to move those fears, to move that sorrow, so you can have the level of clarity that is necessary to be actioning and to be verbalizing and to be communicating in whatever way is most expansive to be able to be achieving that point of a time, yes?
Yes.
Do you have an awareness of what it is that is being experienced between the two of you? Do you have an awareness of what the issue is?
No.
Yes. Has she not been able to, she is healthy, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And she has not been able to communicate to you what the problem is?
No.
Yes. It is quite important for you to be doing this even more so, yes? Because by doing that, what will occur within you is all of the shifting, all of the movement within yourself and within your mind and within your spiritual soup. And what we're meaning by that is all the aspects that are you, the woundings, the thoughts, the thought forms, all of the things, yes?
Yes.
You want to move the energy so you can be guided to the particular things that need to move sufficiently so that you can have a greater level of clarity, so you can see. We want you to be very aware and be very careful that this process, you do not need to shame and blame yourself for things, but it is important for you to have an awareness of that perhaps she views interactions and perhaps she views things in a different way than you do.
Yes.
And you need to have the strength to be able to allow her to communicate to you properly what it is that she has been experiencing, what it is that her perspective is of the relationship. And if you can do that, if you can hold it for her in a way beyond what you've ever been able to do before, there can be a change, yes?
Yes.
But we want you to first do the visioning, because we want you to be able to anchor in and move the energy around you enough so that you can see it, so that you can be invited to the possibility of what it is precisely that I need to be doing, what it is precisely that I need to be allowing, what it is precisely that I need to be communicating. If you do not know what the source of it is, have you attempted to be asking her what it is?
Yes.
And the response is nothing.
Nothing.
It is quite important to be moving the energies around. Was there a particular instance that occurred that ended the communication?
Yes.
Yes. And do you have confusion about what exactly occurred?
Yes.
Yes. It is quite important for you to be able to be, do you have an awareness and a willingness to see it differently?
Yes.
Are you certain? Because information that we feel from your field is that not quite yet.
Well, I'm willing to try.
Yes. What we would like to invite you to be doing is that trying, yes, and doing exercise on the possibility. This is incredibly important for you. And the other thing that could be quite helpful, depending on how skilled you are in navigating this sort of thing, you can go to someone as well. There are very many skilled practitioners here and in very many places that can help you do this. But what you want to be doing is what precisely is the point, yes? The not the point of in an esoteric way, but what was the point in which things shifted, yes? And being able to see the perspectives in the lifetime, because most likely this was not just a moment for her. This was something that was building.
Yes.
Yes. And there may be quite a lot of frustration around the communication and what she has perceived. And it has created a block in communication for protection purposes. And we understand it can be quite painful to think that your child would need to protect herself from you, yes? Because you would never want to cause her any harm, yes?
Yes.
So you want to be looking at the possibility of things and is different, yes? And it does not make one person right and one person wrong. It is merely that each individual has different lenses in which they view experiences that they are having.
Yes.
So the way forward is to reconcile those differences and honoring that communication or the lack thereof. Yes?
Yes.
Are you clear on things that would be helpful and what you can be doing going forward?
Yes.
Or is there any further you would like to be asking?
Yes.
Yes, you may continue.
I want to know when my son is going to meet a nice girl so that he can get married. Because that's one of his biggest dreams.
He would like to be getting married.
Yes.
Yes. And how old is he?
He's 32.
Oh yes, he has a bit of time yet to go.
How long?
You will not be liking this answer, but it is approximately 7 years. And this has to do with many things with the partner. There's a bit of an age difference with the individual that will be, that is most aligned and that is moving their way towards him. And this age difference requires for there to be a bit more time.
Okay.
But what is important to be understanding is that there will be experiences that are necessary for him, as Alexis was speaking about earlier, about experiences, yes?
Yes.
And those he will be having, and it won't be long from now, yes?
Yes.
But interestingly, it may cause, it won't always be pleasant, yes?
Yes.
It doesn't mean he'll be, harm will come to him. It merely means there's things that he needs to learn that will allow him to become a better partner to the individual that is coming.
Okay.
Yes. And there are practices that he can be doing, and that you can be doing as well in honoring, and you can have an altar that you create that is for the most expansive expression of your children. And you can do that for, you have 2 children?
Yes.
You can do that for both of them. And you merely go to it and you can put little things to it that it's for them to expand, and that you hold their greatest expansion, whatever that means, in the most easeful way possible. Because you do not want to be controlling or saying which way or what it is, that you honor their experience, yes?
Yes.
That we activate their sovereignty, yes?
Yes.
And that is what this would be doing, is that things do not need to be the way you want them to be, that they must be the way that is most expansive for them, the way that is most sovereign for them, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't-
And she is quite a nice girl, yes, the woman who is coming.
Okay.
Yes, it will be worth the wait for all of you. We know that you have the longing as well.
Yes.
Yes.
To see it happen.
Yes, he will have lots of moments of happiness and experiences of happiness, but that thing that will light him up, he will be experiencing that. It just takes some time, yes.
Okay.
Is there anything further?
Yes, I have an injury to my cervical spine.
Yes.
And I want to know if there is a potential solution that does not require surgery.
Yes. This was not an artificial injury, yes. This was not from the outside. This was an experience injury, yes.
Correct.
Yes. What is most correct for us at this time is maybe we be working on you at this moment. We will be sending energies to your cervical spine. Would that be quite all right?
Yeah.
Yes. I'd like for you to be taking a deep breath in now. There will be energy moving from the top of your head through and then in and out of the vertebrae. There's quite a lot of issue with the cushioning between them, yes?
Yes.
There's a compression and a misalignment that cannot be rectified, is what they are thinking, correct?
Correct.
Yes. It's almost as though you need to pump up the cushion on one side.
Yes.
They would like to be doing a discectomy, yes?
I don't know what that is.
Yes, the removal of the disc.
They want to fuse them.
Yes. Just a moment. That is not quite what is necessary for you to be experiencing. Do you interact with the cells of your body?
No.
Yes. Do you do any connection with the form of your body?
No.
Yes, we would like to be inviting you to do that. You can envision and imagine. We do quite a lot of envisioning we have you doing today.
Yes.
Yes. One of your skill sets is being able to do that, and it's quite important for you to be activating that ability, yes?
Yes.
It is something that was quite strong when you were a young child, yes?
Yes.
And you keep it at bay for sake of seeing things too big, yes?
Yes.
Yes, it is time for you to be being able to wield it more properly. And you can be connecting with your spine, and we want you to be imagining a healthy vertebrae, healthy cushioning, yes? And allow and just notice there to be what is necessary, the fluid that is necessary, the space that is necessary, yes? For there to be adequate functioning, for there to be reduced pain, for there to be fluid movement, yes?
Yes.
And you imagine that from the top all the way down, yes?
Yes.
Yes, we would like you to be doing that as often as possible.
Okay.
Yes. But yes, there are solutions that go outside of what has been currently brought to your awareness, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You are quite welcome. Do you have anything further?
No, no further questions.
Yes, we may be continuing at this time.
Hello. In which direction will my career be moving?
It's an integration of skill set, yes?
Yes.
How are you feeling about being able to, there's some discomfort around this. How are you feeling about being your own boss?
Not very confident.
Yes, there's a lot of discomfort is what we are feeling from you. But there is the possibility, the most highest expression that is possible for you is to be able to take the skill sets that you have and do consulting. We recognize that there is quite a lot of confidence that would be necessary to do this, but you have the skill set to do it. You have the star, so to speak, to do it if you would like to be doing it. What is quite interesting with trajectories is that there are very many, for some people there's quite a lot of trajectories, so when we ask questions about these things, it depends on what is the most expansive and are you willing to choose the most expansive, and then subsequently is what is the most likely possibility, yes?
Yes.
And you are somewhere in between, and we would like to invite you, if you would be liking, to be allowing yourself to experience the most expansive, yes?
Yes.
So you take what is the most likely and you take the most expansive and you allow them to move together, yes?
Yes.
And you allow yourself to be brought to the opportunities, and the opportunities come to you that would allow you to be the person that is required of you to be able to achieve and to even desire the highest outcome, the highest possibility. But because at the present moment, you don't necessarily desire that highest expression, yes? You're a bit uncertain. You do.
I do.
Yes. We would like to be inviting you to integrating that it is possible. So who is it that you need to be that person? Do you understand what it is that we're asking?
No, not really, because there's two directions that I can go.
Yes.
I can go into nursing with healing and patients, or I can do the consulting, as you say, in a legal office with medical records. Right now, I can do either or, and I would like to know my skill sets are not. I don't feel confident that they're in the highest manner to choose.
That is quite interesting. The opportunities would not present themselves for you. You would not have the idea to even think of it if you didn't have the skill set. How does that feel in your body when we say that to you?
Will I have the opportunities then? Yes.
Yes.
For
The other
consulting.
aspect is there is a third aspect, and that is there is the opportunity and an increased necessity for medical record expertise pertaining to patients themselves. This is something that is a bit unusual, and there isn't a large field as of yet, but this is something that where you're able to take all that skill set and utilize it more for in the patient way, yes? To be allowing for them to utilize the information in ways that are necessary for them. Is there an understanding to what it is that we are talking about, or is there quite a lot of confusion around that?
There's confusion.
Yes.
There's confusion because I've not done it in the patient for the patient. I've done it for the doctors or for the legal environment.
Yes. And the patients themselves should have access to their records in a more clear way than they currently do, yes?
No, actually they shouldn't.
Yes. Why is that the thought way?
Because well, they do have access, I'm sorry, they do have access to their records.
Yes.
I'm sorry, they do have access to their records, but there's nothing there for me to do.
Yes. There are other possibilities then, yes? Just a moment, let's be looking so we can give you a further answer. So what we're looking at is like this, just a moment. What we are feeling and seeing is the energy ping-ponging between the two things, yes?
Correct.
Because both possibilities are likely, which is not the answer that you are wanting. We are quite aware of that. Do you have difficulty sometimes in your life of having an awareness of what you would like to be experiencing?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Well, I would like stability in my career.
What other qualities would you like to be experiencing in your life and your career?
Financial stability and confidence, and just knowledge.
Yes.
And to be able to use my degree that I worked so hard for.
Yes. There keeps appearing to be a third option. It is quite strong. We see these two, and then there's a third that comes up, and there's a third that comes up. Are there other things that you have thought of having to do with your nursing degree, but being able to do it in a way that is a bit still connected and still in the healing work, but a bit more advantageous to you financially?
It not occurred to me.
It has not occurred to you at this time. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. Is there a particular aspect of nursing that you prefer when you are working with the healing part of it with the patients?
I would say record keeping rather than in the patient care, because my hands tremble for some reason. I haven't been diagnosed with why my hands tremble, and that causes fear.
Yes, because it is quite difficult when you know too much, yes?
Correct.
Which is also interesting about the desire to have more knowledge, yes?
Yes.
A paradox. Just a moment. Well, we would like to be reorienting your question. We would like to be reorienting your question to having to do with confidence and decision making. Would that be quite all right?
That's fine.
Yes, because that is quite what is necessary, because the energy is not clear at all with what trajectory or how to get there. And it is quite likely that this has to do with the ability to see yourself as who you are. This is a similar answer as we gave someone else. That identity piece of it all is that understanding of how you need to be able to see yourself as the person you would like to be becoming and being.
Yes.
Yes, and you have difficulty seeing yourself being the person that can provide you with the things that you described.
Correct.
Yes. So that is what we would like for you to be beginning to be doing, and that is quite a possibility. We would also like to be going back to, there is a moment we would be doing some healing work on you. Would that be quite all right?
Yes, please.
There is an age, we believe it is coming up several instances, the age of 5 and also the age of 7. Is there a recollection of any experiences at those ages?
For myself.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And those instances were instances that did impact your confidence, yes?
Yes.
And your self-image?
Yes.
Yes, and the way that you view your intelligence?
Very much so, yes.
Yes. So just a moment, we would like to be recalibrating the memories there a bit and recalibrating the way that you choose your identity, because your identity is not able to evolve because of those belief systems that are in place, yes? Just a moment, maybe we'd be having your permission to be doing that and recalibrating that.
Please.
Yes. We'd like for you to be taking a deep breath, please, at this time. We're reintegrating aspects of prior to the experiences, yes?
Yes.
We'd like for you to tap on your heart space 3 times, and tap on your belly space 3 times, and then tap on your head space 3 times. We would like for you now to be saying, I am willing to know who I am.
I am willing to know who I am.
I am willing to be more than the way I currently perceive myself.
I am willing to be more than what I am currently perceiving myself.
Yes. This is something we'd like you to continue to be saying. You can put it on a sticky note where you can see it every day. And we'd like for you to be working on allowing yourself to be more and see yourself as more, yes? This is the first step to be allowing the career path to show up, for the opportunities to show up. The identity must be in alignment first. You must be open to allowing that identity to be increasing, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything further at this time?
Yes, I'd like to know about, I'm concerned about the welfare and the safety of my grandchildren.
Yes. What is the particular question?
The way that they're living, are they going to be safe? Are they going to be all right? Because I had one pass away recently.
Yes. Do you have access to them?
No.
This is not the kind of thing that Alexis likes being quite clear on for many reasons, but it is important to be clear. This is not a good situation.
No.
And it is necessary for them to not be in the situation they are currently in.
Correct.
Yes, and what are the is there a reason why this has not occurred yet?
I don't know who would intervene.
But you do.
I know I can't intervene.
Yes. What if you are able to be shown the possibility? Do you see why it is so important for you to be clear on who you are? Do you see why it is so important to become confident? Do you see why it's so important for you to be integrating your identity? And we say this with love and kindness to you, but do you see why it is so important?
Yes.
Because it opens up possibility for beyond yourself.
Yes.
And the stability you seek would allow for that to be a possibility for you to be having greater access, yes?
Correct.
We would like for this to be igniting you every single moment of deciding of who you are and what you are capable of. Yes, it is quite a necessity. Are you understanding this?
Yes.
Yes. When you choose this, all of the pieces and all of the opportunities will move forward for themselves, yes?
Yes.
And we would like for you to be quite clear when things present themselves to move and to trust. This is incredibly important that you do so.
Okay.
Yes. Is there anything further?
Yes. I'm concerned about my husband's health. Recently I had a surgery and I want to know if the doctors should I be seeing other doctors rather than the ones that he is seeing?
Yes, it's quite helpful to have other opinions. There is also an additional set of type of doctors that can be brought in as well, yes? There's an aspect that is not being seen quite yet.
Okay.
Yes. But the path is quite clear for this to be moving forward in a positive way for him.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, you're quite welcome. Is there anything further at this time?
No. Thank you.
Yes.
I have a couple questions about my career.
Yes.
I feel I have succeeded in many ways, but still don't feel fulfilled. So I feel like I'm constantly trying to find my space, or if I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. So I'd like some guidance in that.
Yes. There was a time quite a long time ago that you knew what you wanted to be, yes?
Yes.
And that's a bit different than what you are now, yes?
Yes.
How open are you to there being an integration of those two things?
Very open.
Yes. You can go back to that version of you, that small version of you, and bring that longing and that vision into yourself now. And that will allow for there to be a greater fulfillment, because you will be reminded that it is quite possible for that to be opened. So much of the trajectories that each of you are asking about has to do with the openness and the willingness to be the person and the remembrance of what is necessary, yes? And so going back to that version, we are getting the information around 9 years old. Is this something that is accurate for you?
Yes.
So you are quite clear on who you get to become now.
Yes.
You simply do not know how to get there, yes?
Yes.
It is the beginning of understanding and knowing what you'd like to becoming and integrating. This is also an aspect we were aware of we could say I was aware when the we was present with Alexis when you were asking particularly about the love way and opening up to the love way. These two questions are interrelated to one another, because there are aspects of being in relationship that will be coming that have to do with who you allow yourself to become, and a softening that will occur when you allow that passion to come forward, yes?
Yes.
Because when you can allow yourself to receive yourself fully, you can allow yourself to be received by another individual. Because otherwise what you're doing is giving an 80% of yourself present. And 80% of yourself present will not attract the individual. You will not tolerate that sort of thing. And we say that in the most loving way, because he will ask you to be the most of yourself, or you to be the most present with him, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything further at this time?
Yes.
Yes,
I'd like
please
to ask,
continue.
just in general about my love life. I've been very closed off for a very long time. Just want to see how I should be guided and
Oh yes, we would like to be inviting you to have fun. To have a whole lot of fun. That it is in fact safe to do so. That you can open your heart to fun. That you can open your body to fun. That you can open your mind to fun. And it is quite safe to do so, yes? Yes. What you are longing for will come. And have fun in the meantime, so you may have fun later on as well. Yes. Is there anything further at this time?
yes, just one more thing.
Yes.
I'm longing to be able to move on my own with my daughters. That's something that will happen, and when.
Yes. The number 7 is coming up, but is not quite clear on the timeline of it. On occasion, there are portals that open up for decision making, and there are different times in which you may be choosing things, and when you miss one, it will come back around, yes?
Yes.
There is an opportunity that may present itself within 7 weeks, and there's an opportunity that will present itself within 7 months, and there's an opportunity that will present itself in 7 years, which is why we were a bit confused, because there is confusion around how that would be. But what we'd like to be inviting you to is being quite clear when it comes up that it might not be clear. That it may be a little bit different than you were expecting it to be, and a little bit different than how you normally behave or choose or trust. Yes?
Yes.
Is there anything further at this time?
No, thank you.
Yes. You may be continuing when you're ready.
Hello. I would like to know if my husband and I will conceive a child together.
Yes.
Damn, that was close.
Yes, there are contracts made already. Have you been interacting with the spirit of the child that will be coming forward?
Yes.
Yes. The contracts are all clear. Both parties, all 3 parties have agreed. Is the question more about the timing of it?
Yes.
Of why it has not happened yet?
Yes.
Oh, there's particular importance of the birthday and the gestation, and there's very many things that are quite, the timing is what is being waited for.
Okay.
But it is quite all right. It may be a bit longer than you would like for it to be, but this will allow you the ability to get other things in order that sort of need to get in order, yes?
Will it be a healthy child?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The child is quite excited to be coming forward, too. Do you have an awareness that there is more than one? Not at once.
Both healthy, or is one a loss?
No, it's both healthy. Have you had a loss? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, no, we are talking about the energies that will be coming through. That child will be returning. That spirit, that soul that it tried to come in, was seeding energy. Okay. That is quite important for you to be knowing. So it wasn't quite a loss, although it was an emotional loss for you, but that energy is still present with you. Yes?
Yes.
And it was an important experience for you, was it not?
Yes.
And it was an important experience for your partnership.
Yes.
Yes. And so the energy of the child agreed to do that for you, that this were a part of the contracts and part of the agreements, but that same energy will come through.
Okay.
Yes. And then there is a subsequent child. So there will be 2 living children that you have.
Okay.
Yes. And this is why you're asking about the health, yes?
Yes.
Yes. No, it will be all quite all right. Yes.
Okay.
And these are 2 beings that do know each other from previous experiences.
Yes.
Yes. So it would be quite lovely of an experience. Just patience is quite necessary because they will teach you that as well. So it's quite helpful for you to be learning that now.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. There are aspects that are necessary with preparation of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Have you an awareness of this?
Yes.
Yes. So you continue your preparations, yes?
Yes.
And you have your partner have his preparations for his body as well, yes?
I'm working on it.
Yes, there's quite a lot of preparations that are necessary.
Okay.
Yes, but it will be quite all right.
Okay.
Yes. Is there anything further you would like to be asking?
No, thank you.
Yes, you are quite welcome. Is there anything further at this time?
I would like to ask something.
Yes.
I'm making a move within the next few months. I'm buying my first house and I'm relocating very far, well, not very far away, but out of South Florida. And I'm gonna have to restart my career from the ground up. And I'm curious as to know how quickly I'll be achieving my success.
Quite rapidly, the things that we invited you to be doing, and very many of the things that you learned by observing other people, because you were paying attention now, weren't you?
Yeah.
You learned quite a lot sitting there, didn't you?
I did.
And you will be implementing very many of the practices that we invited others to be doing, yes? And that will allow for you to have rapid success of what you're saying. And because it all comes down to your relationship with yourself and your ability and permission of yourself to augment yourself. What we're meaning by that is allowing yourself to grow and grow and grow, yes? Yes. And when you allow yourself and who you are and who you say yourself as to grow, it allows for your experiences to be augmented, increased, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything further?
Nothing.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
I want to buy property in North Florida.
Yes.
And I wanna know if that will happen.
Yes, you will find 3 that you're quite liking, but they will not work out, and the 4th one is the one that will be correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Is there anything further at this time?
I have one question.
Yes.
Will I have the money to purchase the house that I'm looking for?
That is such an interesting way to be asking it. We need to be reminding you that you may not be looking in the correct place. So yes, you will have the money for the house. That is most correct, that we were giving you the information about. That will be the 6 months. We know that you are not liking this. But yes, you will have the resources that are necessary to have the home that is most your actual home, yes? Which is what you are actually wanting.
Yes.
And that will present itself correctly, and it will have all of the things that you desire for it to be having. But no, it is not what you're currently looking at.
Thank you.
Yes. Is there anything further?
No.
Yes, that is a completion of this time. We're quite thankful that you're here today with us. We would like to be reminding you to be continuing yourself and continuing your opening, yes?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a good, very good.
Thanks for being here.
Very intense.
Yeah. It's like, yep, got you. Oh,
Like, I think
Yeah.
my whole chest was heavy the whole time.
yeah. Yeah. You could likely feel, which is maybe what you shared in the beginning, what it felt like as you've had experiences when you were young with energies that are non-physical, and you feel it, and you're probably quite sensitive to it. So it, like, oh, I'm apprehensive because I know what this feels like, and is it scary? And so I hope it wasn't scary, and that it was
wasn't scary.
okay. Good.
It was enlightening.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. Awesome question. Do you have one daughter or more than? How many children do you have?
One, but I lost one before her.
Okay. How old are you?
41.
41, you said? Are you open to having more children?
No, I don't
Then
want
what?
to.
Oh.
No. I'm
Oh,
not.
interesting. But you're open if your partner has a child.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so interesting because there was this like weird thing that was
Right.
happening, and it's almost as if that's part of it.
Probably.
And it was like daughters, and there was a confusion with that because
That's funny.
I almost asked because I felt plural,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, no, but she only has one, but then she does, and then yeah, it was interesting.
That's funny because I've given myself, I know exactly what I want coming back into the dating scene.
Yeah,
And I don't look at a man that has a boy, no matter what age it is,
I
out of the
understand.
safety of my daughter.
Oh, I understand. How old is your daughter?
She's 10.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. I
Yeah.
have a 14-year-old, almost 15-year-old.
So it's funny that you say that because to me it's like,
Yeah.
oh boy,
No.
swipe it left.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a son anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just, it's a hard no for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. I would say that it's a safety in your cognitive mind,
Mhm.
you know, but it's actually more than that. It's that he
Yeah.
doesn't have a son.
Yeah.
So it's giving that feeling, and your mind says, oh, it's because of this. It's because it gives you information for discernment, you know. Yeah. Pretty cool. Very, wow. And how did that land? Because that was he got a little strong there for you.
Okay, well, it goes back to my self-confidence as to which way I'm going to be going.
Yeah. And if you're willing to enhance that self-confidence and the importance of it and what it would mean for you to open yourself up to a really great possibility, but it's more than that, to open yourself up to the things that you know are correct for you to have.
Well, I've been presented opportunities and they just fall off.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, you have to be able to hold it. Like if we can't hold something, we can't hold it. And that's with like the love piece. So there's so many things. Like we have to prepare ourselves to hold and to open. Like when we're in situations that are really, really beautiful and really good, something that will happen is you have to open, and you have to open. You're gonna feel this big time. I know I did. And I was like, are you serious? More? And he's like, yep. And it's more, and it's more, and it's more. And it's a really beautiful, but it's scary too. And it's so worth it, but it really is. But it's hard, and like that goes with everything, not just love and not just confidence, but it's just, can we hold this expansion of ourself, you know, and experiences that are beyond what we're currently connected to.
And the meditation, and he said something about meditation. God, that is the most grounding, and you really want to like go in and have clarity in your life.
Yeah.
Meditate.
Yeah.
Meditation has really changed my life, and she's my healer. She knows that.
I love that.
She knows that. It's amazing. It really is. It will change your life for sure.
I agree. I agree. I think it was for you,
Yeah,
and I think one
somebody.
other, yeah.
It's really for everybody.
Oh, it definitely is, but the
Yes,
one she's
everybody
remembering was
should do it.
specifically, but yes,
Yeah.
everyone,
Yes.
yeah. And the visioning, which is a lot like meditation, you know, and that's really important, because it's gonna let you, if you're willing, because there's like this in between, it's like you're willing, but there's also, but to align, and it's like opening that up. And by visioning, it's gonna help you open that up, that line of like, yes, I'm willing to see it all.
Well, I'm stuck between, because I've reached out to her so many times,
Uh-huh.
right? And just cutting her off completely and just like cutting her loose. But that's a really hard decision.
Yeah.
But it's that struggle because I don't deserve what she's doing. So,
I'd be really, really open to the fact that that perhaps you don't see the totality of it, because neither of you deserve what's happening. Are you open to seeing that?
yeah.
Yeah. And that might help a little. I understand that where you're at with that self-protection piece and the boundary piece and the self-love piece and all that part, but we have to mirror it both ways, and knowing that she's not a bad person. So neither of you, so she's not doing this out of, oh, I think today I'm going to stop talking to my mom. That's not what happened. So whatever it is, there's something within her that's not ready, that has some feelings, that has a perspective that's different from yours. And for whatever reason, that's true. And being able to know that multiple things can be true at the same time. And that's hard. I know that's hard, but being able to see both, that the pain you're experiencing, she's experiencing it too in a different way. That this isn't fun for her either. You know, it's not like, oh, I don't care. She, I'm sure, cares very deeply. And there's just a lot of confusion in the energy. And there's a lot of, in the Sacred Relating book, I talk about lenses and perspective, and it feels like that's the piece, is that you're wearing different lenses to see the same situation or situations, and that's the part that like, it just like, you can't get past that part. So it's like, this is why I think he gave that visioning piece of it, to see a different way, so that it can open the energy enough. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I hope that's helpful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And may that go out to the ethers to other people too. Okay. All right. We did it. Thank you so much. You're so welcome.